Every time you get a chance to witness this scene, you feel lucky. Nothing like it.
Man, this is what it's all about. This is what college football is all about. I've said this is the best scene in the country.
I love and appreciate you guys. Understand this. We didn't get here without every single person in this room. We got here together. Let's finish this thing together. Everybody got me? Let's go do this thing.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Whiteout Weekly, where we are celebrating another glorious Penn State victory week, and also, if you can't tell by my attire, the funeral of the Ohio State Buckeyes. I feel like I don't deserve to wear this because I did contradict myself so hard on that flip-flop.
For your own funeral.
You have to respect. You have to respect Ohio State. They gave it their all. It's over. It's over for them. College football playoff, kiss it goodbye. I mean, we still have to go into the horseshoe, win that game. But the way their defense looks on Saturday was atrocious.
Yeah. I mean, it was like mad, man. Moorhead was calling the same 3 or 4 plays. And then he was just rolling with it. 4 verts, stick and nod, and they had their way.
Yeah, completely owned them. So week 1, Oregon totaled 358 yards against Fresno State. And then against Ohio State, they put up 505 total yards. And not like someone threw for 400 or 350. It was 236 through the air and 239 rushing.
Yeah.
So very balanced attack, meaning Ohio State's defense, a little vulnerable, very vulnerable. And now that the schedule is starting to come to at Columbus, I'm feeling a little better.
A lot of young, unproven guys, and they're not proving it yet. So
not at all.
Looking good.
I think the big thing came down to Oregon Ducks 0 turnovers in that game.
Yeah,
huge.
Taking care of the rock.
We've been saying it, I think, every podcast. Turnovers is the name of the game in college football.
For sure.
So let's move on to the Penn State domination that took place on Saturday, which we kind of both called over Ball State. Would love to hear your thoughts on it, as I was not able to watch the full game.
Yeah, stress-free Saturday from a Penn State perspective. It was nice to see the Lions take care of an opponent that they should have taken care of. Got some Taquan Roberson action late. Got the tight ends involved. Got my boy Theo involved late in the game.
Yeah, boy.
Good to see. So offense looked solid. Saw continued improvement from week 1 in Madison, which is what you want to see. Got some other position groups involved. Still ways to go, but the trajectory has continued upward, which is all you can ask for here in week 2. So
yeah,
it was a good game.
Those first and second drives were like everything that we've dreamt about the Mike Yurchik offense, air raid offense being. Just easy passes for Clifford, getting up comfortable, up tempo, just watch the offense work. And
that first drive, 12, 13 plays, chewing up 7 minutes, going down the field, pounding it in the end zone. It was good. It was good to see.
Offense working to perfection. And the one thing that really stood out at the time I was able to watch was that second drive, Clifford's sideline throw to Kevon Lee. That was just a beautiful ball, beautiful catch. And that was when I knew that Clifford was in his zone. He was comfortable. He got his easy throws in. He knew he had his confidence. And then look at the throws he can make once he has his confidence and is able to kind of adjust and play the way he's able to play.
Yeah, it was nice to see Lee, get a little bit involved with the pass game as well. He surprisingly had a number of catches last year, so we'll see if they continue that way. Kane's obviously been involved with the pass game. Devin Ford has, so you don't think of Lee, with his power back mentality of him being involved in the pass game, but the more they get those guys involved, the more touches they get. And you saw it against Ball State. They just overpowered them. So it easier. They took care of business, but as we get into this week and the Big Ten schedule as that looms, it'll be interesting to see if they keep that as part of the offense.
Speaking of running backs, what is up with Jordan Lovett?
Yeah, didn't dress again. Him along with Keaton Ellis on the defensive side of the ball. Doesn't appear to be any injury, concerns or injury related. You know how Franklin is, he's tight knit with giving any, extracurricular info. So, don't know whether it's,
off the
field issue or practice issue.
Yeah, it doesn't know the playbook.
They didn't travel to Madison. Again, they were in, jersey and pants, on the sideline, no pads. So we'll see what happens this weekend. But they got some other guys involved. So, wouldn't hurt to get those guys in the loop and get them some reps.
Yeah,
but definitely interesting development.
Running game has just been struggling all year, pretty much.
Yeah.
So let's go on to your one name all game selection for the Ball State game.
Yeah. So for me, I think there's some obvious choices, but I'm gonna lean back on my impact player to watch out for at the start of the year. Curtis Jacobs looked a lot better this week. Playing at home, playing in front of the fans in Madison. Him and Smith looked a bit timid. Not really playing as tenacious as they're known to be, or as they should be. Especially with their 4 and 5 star ratings.
Mm-hmm.
He only had 2 tackles on the stat sheet. I think he had 1 tackle for a loss, but he was tenacious out there, flying around, plugging some gaps. Recovered nicely. On some miscues that he had. So interesting, interested to see him continue that, especially this week, in a hostile environment at home. He's going to have to be flying around with that SEC speed. So looking to continue to, see some growth from him.
We're going to need him and the rest of the linebackers to have a humongous game against that Auburn rushing attack. That is huge.
They held Ball State from the MAC, held them in check, but this, Auburn, SEC speed, those recruits, although unproven, they're still high caliber talent. So they're gonna have to show
any SEC offensive line is gonna be a test.
Yeah.
So mine's kind of a little bit of an underrated pick. It's Juice Scruggs, who we kind of not ripped on, but just said he needs to improve, which he did. In week 1, he had 40 pass block attempts, and he allowed 3 QB hurries and finished with a pass block rate of 58.9, which is not good.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, he played 80 snaps, which was a team high, 15 snaps at center, 65 at right guard. He had 39 pass block snaps, 0 pressures allowed, 0 penalties committed, and a team high 85.7 pass block grade. So in PFF terms, he went from a 58.9, which is considered replaceable, to an 85.7, which it's NFL terms, but a Pro Bowler in just 1 week. So hats off to Juice for grinding and keep working and not letting that first week affect you.
Yeah. I think that the offensive line, they showed, again, just another group that showed continued improvement. Still more to be seen from that group, especially this week. We're gonna obviously unveil a lot this week, but some positions that solidified it. You saw at left guard, Eric Wilson got the start this week. Was pretty solid.
Harvard, right?
Didn't see Anthony Wiggin at all. Didn't see Wiggin didn't get in the game. But so, Wilson seems to have that position solidified. And then they moved some folks, some guys around in the second half, again, some different reps in some different spots. But, line continuing to gel. So, definitely going to be a focal point for this week.
Because we're on the line, the offensive line, I'm just going to move right on to the needs to be improved for me. Mm-hmm. It's Caden Wallace. Last week against Ball State, mind you, he on 36 pass block snaps, he allowed 1 sack, 1 QB hit. On the season, he's now given up 2 sacks, 2 QB hits, 3 QB hurries. And against Wisconsin, he had an almost impossible 24.4 pass block rate, which just cannot happen against Auburn's front 7. He cannot have that type of performance at all. No one on the offensive line can.
Yeah, not good. especially with all that hype that he was getting, preseason.
Exactly.
Got to see him live up to it.
So for you, needs to be improved. Who you got?
I mean, we'll touch on it later. No, I think the obvious one, it's going to be a week in, week out thing is the quarterback play. Again, continued improvement for Clifford, but, still left some throws out there. Like I said, we'll touch on it later, but, I think he's definitely one to name. The tight end group, still only 3. Did get some catches on the board this week. Had 0 in Madison, had 3 on the board this week, a touchdown from Theo late in the game from Roberson. But still only 3 catches. And with the hype that room was getting, looking to see more. Don't know if it's a scheme thing, if they're not getting separation, but would love to see those guys get, more involved this week, both him and Strange, to be, key cogs of this offense and be a key release valve, for Clifford, be able to get some, get some rhythm, get some completions.
Yeah. Did Brendan Strange even have a catch?
He
had one.
Yeah, 1 catch. And I think Theo had 2 for 20 and the touchdown.
I mean, but with the way the wide receivers are playing, I think it's all right that they're not, breaking through the season so far.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move on to the huge preview against number 22 Auburn, I got a little trivia question.
Oh, all right.
It's going to be called Stump the Bear, a.k.a. the Croatian Bear, Dave Barron.
I'm ready, baby.
For these trivia questions, we're going to go back and forth each week. It's going to be from Penn State 2000 to 2010 because there's just way too much history to cover, and we would probably get every single question wrong.
Do I get a phone a friend?
You can get a phone. You can get a phone a friend, and you can get a extra hint.
Oh, okay.
But you only one of them. If you phone a friend or extra hint.
Okay, got it.
All right. So in 2008, this Penn State defensive end led the Big Ten with 12 sacks in his sophomore season, ultimately being drafted number 11 in the 2009 draft by the Buffalo Bills. Who is this player?
I got Aaron Maben.
Correct. Very good. I was about to throw you a softball with a Tom Ali 2 years earlier, but I was like, you know what? Let's test him. 1-0 for the Bear. Very good.
I think the Bills gave it away. I think if you left the NFL out, I might have struggled.
A little hint in the question, you know. Got to get the mind rolling a little bit. But very good, man. Well done.
Unfortunately, it didn't pan out in the pros. I think he lasted maybe 3 years.
I think he moved to linebacker and just never really fit it.
Yeah.
It is officially the first whiteout of the year as Penn State hosts number 22 Auburn at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And unfortunately, Dave and I will be in completely different circumstances. He will be at the game. I will be basically living a 2000s Bud Light commercial where I'm the groomsman at a wedding. Have to be there at 11 o'clock. Ceremony starts at 4, games at 7:30. So I'm just going to be checking my phone 24/7, sneaking in bets.
You'll be that guy in the corner.
All the good stuff.
Checking the TV or checking your phone.
Yeah, have a little AirPod maybe like covered up my ear while I'm standing up there. I don't know. Who knows? We'll think of something. So the line for this game opened at Penn State -7.5, and now over 50% of the tickets are on Auburn, and over 50% of the money is on Auburn. So the line moved down to Penn State -6 as of Tuesday, recording this. So I'm gonna take Penn State -6 all fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, baby.
Hey, so you're on the same train?
Yeah. I like that play. I think they'll win by touchdown. I think this game's close. But I think it's by the winner takes it by at least a touchdown. It's going to be the Lions. I think the first half under could be a play as well.
Yes.
I think right now it's set at 20.
That's a great call.
26.5. So I think I'm going to be all over that under, in the first half. I think it's going to be a struggle. Two very talented defenses, both offenses trying to keep some momentum going. So I think it'll be a slugfest. Could open up in the second half, but I like that first half under. But
By the way, we
Lions by
are
a touchdown all day.
we're undefeated betting Penn State game, like our little Penn State
Right.
props. So under 26.5 first half line, love it. Penn State -6, a little shaky. I would have liked. I can see them winning by a field goal, but I'm taking -6.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The over under is 53. Give me that under all day.
Yeah.
Auburn's going to bleed the clock with their running game. Penn State might have some mishaps, some trip ups on offense. So give me that under all day too.
Yeah.
So let's go over our opponent, the number 22 ranked Auburn Tigers. Their offense is run, and then Bo Nix play action bombs off that. So through 2 weeks, they've thrown the ball only 46 times and rushed it 71 times. Huge differential, but I don't blame them at all because they have possibly the best two-headed monster running backs in the entire NCAA. The first guy is Tank Bigsby, who sounds like the final boss of running backs, basically. And he's called Tank for a reason. He's 6 foot, 208 pounds, sophomore. You need a gang of tacklers to bring him down. That's where we're talking about the linebackers coming into play. They got to swarm for the ball. He's averaging 10 yards per carry on 24 attempts and is also ranked 30th in the nation in yak yards with 126. So you got to be careful when Tank gets the ball. Another running back, the two-part of the two-headed monster, is a freshman who just burst onto the scene named Yarquez Hunter. He's 5'10", another bowling ball, 202-pound freshman from Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Wrong Philly.
Mississippi.
No cheesesteak on that.
Yeah, another extremely tough guy to bring down. You can't just bring him down with one guy. You got to swarm him. But he also adds the element of a pass catching back, which is dangerous for the Penn State defense. So he's averaging 15.1 yards per carry on 17 attempts and has 15.1 yards per carry is just out of control.
Yeah.
And he's assumed the running back 2 spot for sure throughout the 2 weeks. They both rushed for over 100 yards in their first 2 games, which have been sort of cupcake games.
Yeah. First week they played Akron, which very well could be the worst team in college football. Auburn handled them. I think it was 60-10, and then Temple just blew them out. I think by 3 scores this past week.
Well, transit property there. They're not good.
Yeah. And then last week, watched a little bit of them against Alabama State. To your point, I think they've been holding Bigsby back a little bit. Maybe it's prepping for this game. Maybe it's just holding him for the long haul. He very easily could have had 300 yards last week. Same thing with with Hunter. But yeah, Bo Nix, 3rd year. Auburn fans are probably singing a similar tune.
What's good with Bo Nix? Like, I've heard he's been shit for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of hype behind him his true freshman year, but his, kind of claim to fame is that he struggles on the road. And again, doesn't bode well for him, coming into a hostile environment like the Whiteout in Happy Valley. Been reading SEC fans all week saying, this is nothing, SEC environments, they see it on a week in, week out basis, but the Whiteout's it's a different beast.
I don't think Bo Nix has seen a Whiteout before.
It's a different animal. But in regards to Bo, they've been Auburn fans been singing along the same tune that we have with Clifford. It's looking for consistency, improvement. Opened up the year against Akron, went 20 for 22, looked pretty decent. But then last week against an Alabama State team, an FCS team, went 9 for 17, less than 150 yards. So carrying that momentum into this game, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting with our secondary. Their wideouts. They got, one kind of tenured, I guess you'd call him a vet, Demetrius Robinson, who's
UGA grad transfer.
Yeah, started at Cal, then transferred to UGA. Was in kind of Penn State's wheelhouse. Thought he was going to come here, but then ended up at Auburn. lot of unproven guys, at Whiteout or at Whiteout rather. So, a lot of inconsistencies from Bo. So we'll see how he bows in this environment, but a lot to be desired there at the quarterback position.
Robertson last week had 3 total touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 rushing, again against a cupcake opponent. But let's talk about their defense, because we know we have to stop the run in order to stop their offense, put the ball in Bo Nix's hands, make him make plays, make him make throws. But the defense, how do we get past this defense?
Yeah, so for them, whereas our, secondary is our strength, their front seven is the strength. They're big, they're nasty. They run a 3-4 scheme, which we'll get in. They got a new defensive coordinator, Derek Mason, former head coach from Vanderbilt, who had some success there. He was kind of the architect of the 3-4 scheme when he was at Stanford. He had a 4-year run there. So he's bringing that to Auburn. Had a lot of guys that are no longer with the program that they were counting on, but still a lot of high caliber talent there.
Some stud linebackers.
Linebacking core, yeah. A couple of seniors, Jacoby McLean. He's big, led the team in tackles last year. Chandler Wooten's another guy. From what I've, kind of researched, is he got about 3 guys at least in that linebacking core that'll be playing on Sundays.
Oh, for sure. I think Jacoby McLean's already penned as a day 2, possibly a late day 1 pick.
Yeah. So I think you got a front seven, especially for us, with the running game that's still somewhat unproven despite the talent. It's going to be interesting to see how we scheme, what blocking schemes Yurchich kind of throws in there, along with Coach Troutland, to see to kind of, open up some holes for them, because it's going to be a different animal. They got a little bit of a test in week 1 with Wisconsin. But again, that SEC front seven, you see a lot of those guys end up playing on Sunday. So it'll be a test for sure.
Talk about SEC front seven. They also have a UAB grad transfer, number 90, Tony Fair, who plays that rare nose tackle position in the 3-4 defense. He's 6'1", 330 pounds.
Woo.
So tough guy to move. The heaviest offensive lineman we have on the interior. Scruggs, right guard, he's 307. Eric Wilson's 307, and Mike Miranda's 298. Going up against a guy who's about 20 plus pounds heavier than them. So he's going to be a big body to move in the run game, which is almost a good thing because the run game has sucked.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be able to run the ball. You have to at least try to establish it to open up the passing game, but we don't need to run the ball to be successful in this game, I don't think. But the other thing I am worried about is we've relied heavily on screens, bubble screens, swing passes, but they have some hard hitting secondary members. Senior Roger McCreary, Nehemiah Pritchard, who's a junior, and one of the coolest names in college football at safety, rocking number 21, named Smoke Monday. So watch out for him on Saturday.
Smoke Monday, 21. Baby.
But any screen pass, any bubble screen, they're flying to the ball. You're going to need some solid blocking on the outside in order to break one of those against those guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough test for sure.
All right. So after all this talk, how do we win against Auburn on Saturday?
I think really, first of all, it's going to come down to the quarterback play. Clifford through 2 games hasn't turned the rock over, which has been huge. He's been steady. Last week, 20 of 29, 230 yards. Just the 1 score, but again, no turnovers. Got a little bit going with the rushing game. He's going to have to, create some time for himself and know when to use his legs. But I think the big thing here, he's going to have to throw some guys open. He's had some shots down the field, even last week that he missed. He missed Keandre Lambert-Smith. He had a wheel route to Noah Caden that he missed on. And like I said, he had about a 10-yard out to Keandre that he missed. Missed another one to Dotson. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of, maybe with Dotson you will, where he breaks one and he's just wide open, but Clifford's going to have to put the ball on the money.
Those 10-yard outs.
He's going to have to throw guys open, which he hasn't done yet.
Yeah, like right when they break, ball's got to be there.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to do that for sure. So we'll see. I hope he's ready, and I hope we can't give this Auburn team extra chances on offense. I think you'll see Bo Nix struggle a little bit as well, but you can't give him additional opportunities while taking away points from ourselves. So it's going to come down to quarterback play. That's going to be the same whole tune every single week. But still only in week 3. Have seen steady improvement, but we'll see it. We'll learn a lot here about Clifford's growth.
Yeah, and going on with that quarterback play, Auburn's going to blitz the shit out of him. Yeah. So being able to recognize his blitzes, kind of align his backs, maybe a tight end in the pass protection where you can get that extra second, get the ball off, is going to be huge, because so far I have not seen him really recognize a blitz, pick it up in game so far.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be huge. But I think there is a hole in this Auburn team. And as crazy as it sounds, I think it's their secondary. Last week against Jackson State's best receiver, Jeremiah Hickson, he got 4 balls on 6 targets for 46 yards, including a 22-yard gainer against their number 1 cornerback, Creary, where he actually shook him. And this is a Jacksonville State talent guy. In the game before that against Akron, their top receiver, Michael Matheson, had 7 catches on 8 targets for 68 yards. So again, some soft competition putting up solid numbers against the secondary. So I think they might be shell-shocked when they see the trio of Dotson, Washington, Lambert-Smith, and all their speed for the first time, seeing true competition in the season.
Yeah, the talent's there. He's just got to put the ball on the money. And like I said, he's going to have to throw him open. So, we'll see. But, I hope he shows up.
I think another big key factor for Penn State is we've been in the dogfight before. We've won. We went through the baptism by fire. We've been through the adversity, whereas Auburn's just kind of cakewalked into this game. So if it comes down to that gritty fourth quarter, who wants it more, I think Penn State has the experience and the will to pull this one out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our first 2 opponents. I was looking at, it was an ESPN statistic called it SP Plus, which is a combo of total offense versus adjusted opponent level. Ball State and Wisconsin were both in the top 50 last year, and we held them to 23 points combined. Which is huge. This
defense is for real. Man.
Yeah,
this is one of the best defenses I've seen Penn State have in a long time.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to come up big again, in some key spots this weekend. But so far they've lived up to the test. So we'll see if they do it again. But I think they will.
It is week 3 of the Big Ten betting bonanza, and as it currently stands, Dave and I are tied. Dave had a huge swing for the fences with a Buffalo money line plus 13.5. And guess what? They didn't even cover the spread. So we both finished.
Touchdown.
You
they
finished,
even scored a touchdown.
Yeah. I think it was 26-3, something like that. I was nervous. I was nervous actually.
Yeah. They hung around for a little bit, maybe the first quarter.
So you ended up actually with a point going 2-1. I ended up with negative at 1 point with the Iowa over missing by 2 fucking points. And that just dumb-brained Ohio State switch. Why did I do that? I called it week 1. I was like, Oregon might be the upset. And then dumb Matt comes in Ohio State looked good. Finals 14. Lost that one. So we're tied at 2 right now. Heading into week 3. I'm going to go with the honors and go first. This is a Friday game. I'm picking Maryland minus 7.5 at Illinois. I bet on Illinois last week, and I tweeted it. I said my imaginary nephew's flag football team could probably put up 28 plus points on this Illinois defense. They're so fucking bad. It's insane. Anytime Virginia got the ball, it's just boom, 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 boom down the field. So I think Talia Tagovailoa is going to absolutely destroy this defense. He's thrown for 303 yards and 3 touchdowns per game so far. So I think this one's a lock. I might even push it up to like Maryland -10 or something like that. Get some juice.
Oh, the alternate line. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So funny enough, I'm tailing you on this one. I got Maryland -7.5.
All right.
Been not too up close, but that Bielema experiment in year one, he doesn't have the talent that he needs to kind of turn that program around at all. And like you said, flag football team or especially Maryland, they're going to cover that spread.
Yeah, I think they're going to absolutely spread them. So for my second pick, I was just going through the lines and I saw Cincinnati, number 8 at Indiana. And the line was Indiana +3.5. And I was like, what the hell is going on there? Number 8 team against Indiana 3.5. So that was just the most suspect spread of all time. I'm taking Indiana +3.5. Actually, I'm taking Indiana money line.
Ooh!
Indiana money line, give it to me.
Cincy going down.
Since he's going down, it makes no sense. 3.5 points.
Yeah,
did Cincinnati lose somebody? Am I not update on the injury report?
Nah, Vegas knows, man.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. gonna lead me to victory.
All right. So for me, number 2, I'm going to go with the Sooners -13 first half against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Ooh, a little first half action.
Little first half action.
Wait, they're -13 first half.
-13 first half.
I'm gonna write that separately for a bet. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think Nebraska's garbage. I think this is a nationally televised game on Fox. Trying to make something of it. I think Oklahoma takes care of it.
Should have done more research. That's a fucking great bet.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. My last one. I need to look up the spread on this. I apologize. I had that money line, but I don't want that money line anymore. I'm going to go with Michigan State +6.5 at number 24, Miami. Last week, Miami won 25-23 over App State. You know what? I'm switching this bet entirely. Now that I'm
contradict yourself again.
I'm taking Miami -6.5 over Michigan State because Miami only won 25-23 against App State. I think they're going to come out on fire and just completely rock Michigan State. So put me down Miami -6.5. And I hope
Derek King's going to flash that Heisman potential, huh?
I hope that doesn't turn into another curb meme. So Miami 6.5.
It's just good content. We'll take it.
Just to go over my 3, I have Maryland -7.5 at Illinois. Indiana money line versus Cincinnati, number 8 Cincinnati somehow, and Miami -6.5 versus Michigan State. Dave, you're third.
So I'm going to do a Whiteout Weekly first in honor of this great weekend. I am including the Nits in my Big Ten Bonanza pick. I am going Nits -6 in the Whiteout. Down goes War Eagle. I don't know if it's you got horns down, War Eagle down. Nits -6, baby. They're
going down.
They're going down.
You think visors are cool? All right, I love it. Love the pick.
Let's go, baby.
All right, so for you have your first pick was Maryland -7 at Illinois as well. A very, very heady second bet in Oklahoma, first half -13 at Nebraska. I think that's going to hit. And Penn State -6. First whiteout of the season. Let's go.
Sweet victory.
Dave, I'm so jealous of you because I'll be living the complete opposite life, Penn State life of you. You'll be at the game. I'll be at a wedding just watching Gamecast on my phone. But have tons of fun, buddy.
Man. I gotta make sure I make it to that kickoff time. It's late kickoff. I gotta pace myself.
And the late kick, you couldn't ask for anything better, man. Couldn't ask for anything better. Very jealous of you.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Let's go State this weekend.
Go State,
Tigers.
Baby. Let's go. War Eagle down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and tuning in to Whiteout Weekly. We will be back every week with more Penn State news and information. And once again, I cannot thank you enough for spending your time with us. Lucci, signing out.
See you guys.